Let us continue with the C# functions. The examples earlier was all about the void keyword, where you are not returning any type or any object. So now let us create a function which returns an object. So now let's make it public again to make it accessible anywhere. And static keyword, just to review that what it does is it can be called out anywhere without instantiating an object. And now we can decide what to return. So depending on the type that you would like to return, so it can be a string, it can be an integer, depending on your purpose, or it can be an object as well, right? Or it can be a list object, right? So a list object like what we did previously on C# collections. Okay, so let's have examples so you can get familiar on the different types of return types. So let's make it simple for now. So let's have a string, and let's say we are returning dog name. So our title is get dog name. Okay, open and close parentheses and open and close brackets. So as you can see, that the naming conventions, you have to be really sensitive on the naming conventions. So it is standard in C# or best practice by actionable keywords like add, get, create, edit, update. So that is how you're going to name your functions. So now our purpose is to get dog name, right? So let's say since our demo examples right now doesn't have a database which we are taking information from or data from, so right now we will be hard coding like what we're doing now. We're hard coding like in this line 41 to be able to have data. So let's hard code this at the moment. So in the future lessons, you will know what I mean as we build our application. As you grow, you will have more examples and you'll get more familiar. So since we are getting a dog name, so we also need to instantiate, right? Instantiate the dog. So let's have a dog, right? Since our purpose is to have in-memory data, so we're creating our own data. Okay, so we're getting the dog name, right? So dog, right, dot name, the animal name is equals to, let's say, snow. Right, so since the purpose is only to get the dog name, so what we'll return is dog, the animal name, right? So now you can see the red squiggly line is get dog name has gone because we already use a return keyword. But if you will take this out and show you what's the error is all about, so make it a habit on hovering over the word squiggly, so you will see what the error actually means, and you can see there that upon hovering you will have the string object in the beginning. So in C# it means you have to return something within a method, and you have that red box, the cubic box. That means it is a method or a function, and you have to return the string keyword on the method get dog name. Okay, so what I've now spotted that I have misspelled get dog name. But in C#, spelling is not something that it will rectify, so you have to be really keen on that. So wrong spelling, C# doesn't check that for you. So let's change that. Okay, and now return the line 50, which has the return keyword and the animal name. And of course, since we have add dog to be accessible, right, Now we will call out the get dog name. Okay, so let's call that out. Get dog name. As you can see, we can call out the get dog name because we use the public keyword and we use the static keyword. So what if I take out the static keyword just for an example so you could see, right? So now I've took that out and you will see that it is now not accessible, right? And it's causing us an error. So let's return that keyword, static keyword, right? So we spoke about methods and functions being reusable. So what does that mean? So we can call out the methods and functions as many times as we want to. So it will reuse our code, right? So let's just make it 2 for now, right? And get dog name, right, as 2, right? Okay, so let's do that. Right, so let's change the example for get dog name, since our purpose is to return a particular name. So let's use the var keyword. So what does that mean? So the var keyword is more of like a generalized object, right, or a generalized type. So it converts the type of a particular object into its correct type. So the var keyword, let's say dog name, is equals to get dog name, right? So since, as you know, that the get dog name is returning of type string, right? So this is type string. Okay, if you're gonna hover, when we created the properties, as you can see, the wrench icon, so that means it is a property. So if you go to model class animal, then you will see that it's type string. Right now it's returning a type string because we declared it as a type string. So if we declare this type int, then it will be type int, etc. So if we created a type cat, then it will return a type cat, right? So now if we go back and hover, you will see it's returning a type string because that's what we declared the method. And now if you hover the dog name, it will be type string. Okay, right, so let me just comment it out. Let's say it's int, right? Let's do it type int. Okay, so if you hover, right, now it goes type int. So var keyword is more of a converter, a general placeholder for all types of variables. Okay, so let's take that out, right? And now since we have a return dog name and of type string, now we can use the console class, right? Console class. Then if we do a dot, you can see the class contains all the methods and properties similar to what we did, right? So you have the wrenches in the boxes. So from here you are learning the structure of C#, right? You know about classes already, and we created model classes. Now we created functions, and console is just another type of class, right, which contains methods, right? So let's now use the right line again. Okay, and on the right line we're gonna type the dog name, right, from the method, so you will be able to see, right? And now let's type the dog name. So we need to use a plus keyword, right? Dog name. There you go. So you could see C# being able to identify the dog name, right? Dog name. So now once we print this, you'll see for reusability and organization, you could reuse the add dog, and you can also do that with the get dog name, right? So let's run it so you will be able to see its behavior. So always remember, if you don't understand a particular code, then you have to debug, right? So you have to put that red button on the left, right? So once you debug, and create the breakpoint. So this is called a breakpoint because the code will have a break there, and you debug, so you're able to step in and look at the behavior of the code, right? So this is a common practice once you deep dive or get hired as a C# developer and there's existing code. You will need to debug, probably see the error, and find the behavior of something. You're learning the process of the business and the code itself. So now let's run it. Now, so it stops on the add dog. So let's step into, because we're going inside, and now you can see that the breakpoint is now on line 41, and as you so it created an instance, so added data in memory and animal ID, same on Toby. So if you hover on the animal ID, it will contain the name, the ID. So if you hover on the animal name, so it's still null, right? Because it's haven't passed the line yet. Okay, so if we now step over again, if you hover animal name, then you will see it now contains Toby, right? So you can also pin this if you like to be pinned, so it will remain there for your visibility, and you could open the view icon so you will be able to see the value of the animal name. Okay, so a value is what's inside or what's the data. So this can be huge data depending on the purpose of your variable. So let's close this one. So let's press run. So it will just continue. Now it has passed add dog, the first one, and then again, because he reused it, and now you can see it went to line 41 again, right? So you have reused, and the expectation it will reprint is because that's the behavior of the code. So depending on the behavior of the code that you put in there, then that will be the purpose of your function. You'll have more examples, so you'll have further understanding of what I meant. So for now, let's continue, and now let's have a breakpoint here on get dog name, right? So let's step into, and now what it did, it created another instance of the dog, right? And we name it animal name. So now you can see if you hover snow, then if you move forward, it will be returning of dog name of snow, right? So if we go up, so let's have a breakpoint here again on line 14. So let's move forward. So now if we hover dog name, it will be snow, right? Because the method get dog name is returning the dog name, right, which is snow. So expected it will be printing the snow dog name, right? I just wrote it as a method, so from method for readability for our purpose, right? So if we open out, right, so you have the first add dog, so it prints it out, and again it prints it again, right? And now the two add dogs has done their purpose, and now we print it out using the get dog name. Okay, so let's run it, and now, right, so we have completed the code of the three functions. I hope this helps and gave you a clear understanding. So I'll see you on the next video.